All right, and we're recording. All right, everybody. This is Director Adam Scott, PGA Golf Management at Mississippi State University. Going to start a new thing here on Mondays with our alumni. Called Alumni Mondays. And what better alumni to start with than Mr. Rod Perry, PGA professional, who was one of the 20 PGA professionals participating in the 2020 PGA Championship at Harding Park. So Rod comes to us live right now from Harding Park, and Rod, I know that we were talking before, and it's locked down, no spectators. I mean, it's got to feel like a big section event almost with no spectators. What's it like out there right now in San Francisco?
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't been to California, obviously since this pandemic started, but the state of California is pretty tough. Pretty much mandated masks everywhere you go. Certainly masks mandated any inside, venues, walking through the hotel. If you happen to go into a restaurant or something like that to pick up food, then mandatory masks. So it's a little more strict here than it is at home in Florida, but I got a big state here, a lot of people.
So not only you have differences as it comes to everybody's response to COVID and and no spectators and things like that, but I mean, this is your what number major that you've participated in?
This will be 6.
Number 6. So a few U.S. Opens and a few PGA Championships, correct?
No U.S. Opens. I've missed out twice now by a shot.
Gotcha.
This year being one of them. As you guys know, the USGA kind of reached across the aisle, so to speak, and gave the PGA of America 3 spots.
That's right.
This year. And they took the top 3 on our PGA Player of the Year points list from last year, and unfortunately, yours truly sat in at number 4.
Oh man! Well, this so not only have some COVID changes, but obviously San Francisco provides a different challenge because the temperature's cooler. The grass is completely different. It tends to play long out there. So tell me what you're kind of thinking as you're preparing. I know you're going to play this afternoon. So what are you kind of thinking about the golf course? I've already heard it's pretty long, but San Francisco golf just to me tends to play that way just based on all those factors. So what are you kind of thinking about as you get?
It does. We're looking at the forecast for the days to come, and they're talking about the highs in the upper 50s and possibly low 60s. Today it's going to be kind of in the mid 60s. So this is probably going to be the best day we get, and it's Monday. As the week continues, it's going to get cooler, and I'm guessing probably a little more gray and a little more overcast. So you're right, the ball doesn't fly real well out here. And, as Brooks Koepka said the other day, Harding Park is big boy golf.
Yeah.
So it's going to play long.
But Mark Twain said the coldest winter he's ever felt is a summer in San Francisco, right? I mean,
absolutely.
That player gets in on you, it gets cold.
Yeah, I've had jeans and a sweatshirt on, the 2 days I've been here. And what's today? August 3rd. So definitely not this way in Mississippi, and definitely not this way in Florida.
That's right. So how do you feel your game is shaping up for the week? I mean, do you feel like you're in good form? How's the golf course set up for you? Because I would imagine Harding Park, you got to hit it long, but you got to move it both ways. So talk about your game and how you feel like you're getting ready for it.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a tough test. Every major is. The PGA of America does a great job of setting up golf courses, and typically they do give you scoring opportunities. So typically you'll have 6 holes where you expect to have a decent opportunity for birdie, and then you're going to have 6 holes where par is going to be a decent score, and then you're going to have 6 holes where it's just going to be downright hard. And I've kind of changed my thinking over the years, as instead of being intimidated by the length and by the difficulty of the courses, just kind of accepting that, hey, yeah, they're difficult, but they're difficult for everybody. They're difficult for every single person in the field. And that goes from Justin Thomas, who just took over the number 1 spot, all the way to the 20 club professionals that are here. A hard hole is a hard hole for everybody. And if you happen to make par, you probably pick up, a quarter of a stroke up to a half a stroke against the field.
I've always felt like the PGA Championship, especially how it's been the last couple of years, the U.S. Open was always known for, par was a great score. The Masters has it just depends on the weather a lot of times at Augusta, right? Where it can be, something near par can win, but a lot of times it's, into those, lower teens under par kind of tends to do pretty well. PGA Championship, I felt like, single digit under par, I always like that kind of scoring where it's like, nobody's really running away with it. but you've also got to make a few birdies. So, like, has that been your experience on a lot of PGAs, or does it always? It just always depended, right? If the conditions get soft, the guys tend to tear it up. If and you can get it to where like what was it? Oakland Hills got really difficult. So it really just depends, right? Depends on the facility. But the PGA doesn't try to intentionally beat players up. Their goal is to, like you said, have some scores that some holes that are difficult and some holes you just.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The PGA, they want to see good scores. Good shots are typically rewarded, and bad shots are penalized. So I expect the rough to be up, and they've talked a lot about how they've kind of narrowed the fairway lines off the tee. So, although this is a municipal golf course, I don't think it's going to play like one.
Absolutely. So in California, specifically Bay Area, and I'm sure you played. What are some of the places you played out there that would maybe similar to Harding Park?
Well, obviously the weather's the same all over. So I played SF Club and I played Olympic and had a chance to play here, Harding Park, and obviously all the courses down on the Monterey Peninsula. I've enjoyed California golf, even though I'm a Florida boy and obviously spent some good years there in Mississippi. I enjoy kind of the cooler weather.
Yeah,
it's kind of a neat test and certainly a nice change of scenery.
Well, speaking of Mississippi, the funny thing is you go back through the history of the program here, and there's a good chunk of guys that were in school when you were here that they always go back to. Well, when I was in school, Rod Perry. Well, when I was in school, I got paired against Rod Perry in singles match play, and he killed me. And you always hear back. So from your time at Mississippi State, what are some things you think about? I mean, I'm sure everybody always looks fondly back to the university course of those late evening nines after class and things like that. But you've been gone for a little while. I don't know the last time you've been back in Starkville, but talk a little bit about your time here and obviously I know that you played a ton of golf while you were here, but everybody has a Rod Perry story. It seems like from that time. So that should come as a testament to how good a player you are for sure.
Yeah, a lot of those stories aren't fit for our broadcast here. Those are going to remain private. The late nights at the grill and late nights at a couple other of those fine establishments around town. But, I grew up in Florida. And, when I kind of announced to my family and announced to my friends that, I was leaving this golf mecca of Florida to go to school in Mississippi to learn about golf, it was kind of like, wait a second. You're going to Mississippi to learn about golf? That's Florida. But, yeah, I wouldn't have traded it for the world, man. I mean, some of my best memories and certainly some of my lifelong friends, although I don't get to see them as much as I'd like to, were right there in Starkville.
Sure. I think that's the thing is it's such a tight-knit family, and the program turns 35 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Been around for a long time, and everybody knows it's a close-knit group of individuals that it's hard to go anywhere and not find somewhere where Mississippi State has influenced the game, in some form or another. So
sure, yeah. One kind of cool story that's kind of with you sitting in that office kind of reminds me. And I'd come out there. It was the summer of 1993 that I started. So I took my first trip out to Starkville in December of '92.
Okay,
it was right during the Christmas holidays, and went out there and met Dr. Jones and sat down in that office and we talked about what was expected of a PGM student. And I vividly remember Dr. Jones sitting in that chair, just like you are today, and asking me if I felt my golf game was good enough to get through the program.
Wow.
And, I said, Doc, I think it is Dr. Jones, but I mean, I'm not real sure, I played in high school and, I played, a lot of golf in college and stuff, but,
sure.
I think it's good enough, but, how good are these guys? Well, Rod, we got some good players out here and, we just want to make sure your golf skill is up to par if you're going to be coming into the program. So I just think, that was kind of a unique conversation, especially, with me sitting here now.
That is for sure. Could have been a Dr. Jones, little sneaky motivation tactic to.
It could have been.
You need to be working on the game.
I couldn't tell. I mean, his mustache at the time was pretty long, and I think there was probably a smirky smile under that mustache.
Well, it was funny moving into the office and taking over for Jeff, coming in here and finding things that had Dr. Jones's signature on them, old books and things, and it's just his. his teachings and essence are still around this place. And, without the foundation he built, we're not where we are today. And what Scott Maynard and Dr. LeMay and Jeff has continued to build on. So, well, all of us in Maroon are cheering for you. Hopefully your flight is late Sunday, early Monday morning, so you can make it through the weekend. And looking forward to watching. I mean, under these circumstances, anything we've got to kind of cling on to and be positive about is important this time, but be safe out there. Like I said, we're all going to be cheering for you and look forward to kind of watching close. I've officially set up a television in the office. I don't know if Dr. Jones would have ever cleared that, but I've at least got it ready to go because we've got so many fall, so many fall things we need to be, that we need to be watching in terms of major championships and things like that. So,
Sure.
But we're definitely cheering for you and look forward to watching and play well this week. And hopefully, if football season can ever get normal, let's hope by 2021, we'll be having some good alumni things back on campus. Okay.
Sounds great, Adam.
Thanks, Rod. Really appreciate it.
You bet.